Every morning when I wake up, it's literally like Christmas. I turn on the news and I wonder what gift was left for me under the tree that day. Why? Because God is taking care of us. He said that Donald Trump staying president would result in nuclear war. And in an effort to protect us, he was going to make sure Donald Trump didn't stay president. Because our free will was manipulated in this sham election. So through a series of, events and truths coming out, the divine showed us, Donna Brazil's book, the DNC fraud lawsuit, the DNC lawsuit now against, the Trump campaign, etc. The divine showed us that our election was a total joke, and the Russians interfered, and Hillary interfered, the primaries were rigged, money laundering, if you read Donna Brazil's book. Our election was a total joke, and the divine doesn't take it seriously at all whatsoever, which is why he wants us to get off the couch and demand a second one. However, the divine is also on our side and trying to help us by revealing truths about Donald Trump himself. That's why I love watching the news these days. Watching, Michael Wolff's book coming out. Michael Wolff's book came out, Fire and Fury. Stormy Daniels, Karen McDougal, Michael Avenatti, them coming out and speaking their truths and letting us know that Donald Trump is a big cheater, liar, douchebag, basically. They're really brave to speak their truth, so they're coming forward and, being extremely courageous in their efforts. And then Comey just came out. He has his book, Higher Loyalty, so he's being interviewed right now, and he's speaking his truth about his experiences. And, Donald Trump just looks like a total liar there as well. And he looks like he's obstructing justice. So the divine is showing us all of these things, all of these truths about our election, and all of these truths about Donald Trump that he deserves, we need to know. He's showing us who Donald Trump is. He's showing us who this man is. He's the kind of guy who lies to get himself put on the Forbes list of the most wealthy men. He lied. Okay, that's fake too. So he's just ego. And unfortunately, his ego led him here, and he's off path. And his higher self, his angels, had me channel a message for him on November 13th. He became president on November 8th. That's when he was elected. And on November 13th, they had me upload a video saying it's okay to step down. They were trying to help him. That was God and his angels trying to help Donald Trump and say, dude, go back to your old life. You don't want this. Trust us. Just go back to your old life. Make a U-turn. It's okay to step down. We're going to help you. Never did. Never did. Kept up his ego pursuits. And so here we are. Here we are. Is Donald Trump the Antichrist? I don't care. You can call him that if you want, because that's actually the way it feels. When I look at this battle of light versus dark, that's exactly the way it feels. Because I can sit here and say, oh, light and dark are battling each other. It's like Star Wars. You know what? I was going to name this video, Here Comes the Light. I'm not doing that. I'm cutting right through the BS. This is God's strategy for removing Donald Trump from office because he was never supposed to be president. His presidency is a total illusion. It's based on lies and ego. And the divine is showing us that it's one big fat illusion. His power is an illusion. And the divine is saying we have the power. We as people have the power, which is why it's important for us to get off the couch and demand a second election. Because is it obvious to everyone now that this election was a joke? Is it? Has enough information come out to convince everybody yet? Seriously? This election was a joke, okay? It was a joke right from the start, beginning with the primaries, up until November 8th. I even wrote all over Facebook, if you want something, do you want something done now or do you want something done right? The divine didn't want the American people ushered into a sham election on November 8th, 2016. Do you want it done now or do you want it done right? Should have been delayed. Should have been delayed. Comey was never supposed to close the investigation on Hillary. He was never supposed to close it. He was supposed to keep going. So those Hillary supporters that blame Comey for her downfall, it's no. Hillary screwed herself over by rigging the primary. Shouldn't have stepped on Bernie Sanders' head. That was a mistake. So do you see all this crap and all this drama swirling around? It's not clean. It wasn't a clean election. So our free will was manipulated, and free will is manipulated all the time, but it doesn't result in nuclear war, so that's why they're getting involved. But the bigger issue is that, we're being shown all of these truths We're being shown what happened and what's going on and who people really are. We're being shown their character. And so that's why the divine is saying that we need to sit up straight and pay close attention to what is being revealed for us, revealed to us. Because there is a strategy behind all of this. There's intelligence behind all of this. Donald Trump's going directly up against the divine because he's being influenced by negative entities. And the lower his vibration gets, which means the more sad, angry, fearful he gets, these negative entities are going to have even more control over him because he'll be an even closer vibrational match for them. So it's going to get worse, not better. So that's where the divine is protecting us. He said we are protected and we are. So he's taking care of us, and I want you guys to know how. I watch the news with a different eye and ear. I'm like, boss, boss, boss. I see the strategy behind everything. I see the light working to help us. And I don't feel like God gets enough credit for what he does. So I'm pointing it out so you guys know how he's helping you. Number 1, the timing of it all. Are you guys wondering why it took so long for the light to fight back? Everything happens in divine timing. I've seen the light and dark do this to each other. They'll wait until you're done building your house and then they'll set it on fire. They'll say, okay, finish, putting the finishing touches on your kitchen. Okay, now we'll set it on fire. I feel like the divine works in his timing, and he was waiting for Donald Trump to reveal everything to the American people and show us a bunch of stuff, and then he turned on the fire hose of truth. That's what you guys are watching, basically. You're watching the divine turn on the fire hose of truth. That's really what this is. A fire hose of truth squirting at Donald Trump right in the face. Now, I've said that this is the law of attraction, and that this is all the darkness that Donald Trump has attracted to himself. Now, the only person that this is darkness to is Donald Trump. It's not darkness to the rest of us. It's truth. I look at everything happening to Donald Trump. I'm like, truth, 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 truth. Not darkness to me. It's darkness to him because he's working for the dark. If you're working for the dark, you're an adversary of the light. You're an adversary of God. Your free will put you there. God still loves you. It's not like he hates you, but your free will put you there. That's why you're an adversary of the light. And the light's going to be very strategic in their time for going after you. They're going to make sure they go after you at the smartest time. So I feel like this fire hose of truth took a while to turn on, but it started. We got momentum going. But yeah, I feel like he was waiting strategically so that the American people see what's going on and wake up about, all of the issues and become concerned about politics, whereas a lot of people are kind of sleepy and not really paying attention. So it's getting people to open their eyes towards this and shining a light on politics in general. And another way that I've seen the light working is turning things around on people. If you are Donald Trump and you're going to lie about the 130K and say, I don't know anything about it, you have to ask Michael Cohen, well, okay, then the light's going to turn that against you. The light's going to use that against you, and they're going to say, okay, no client privilege here. Client privilege doesn't apply here because, you're not part of it, so okay, whatever. So the light will use lies to bite you in the butt. Yeah, so the lying is actually used against you. Another thing I've seen is the divine is extremely, extremely respectful of free will, human free will. So Donald Trump still has free will, but the divine will put him in a catch-22 where he's damned if he does and damned if he doesn't, like firing Mueller. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. You're backed into a corner. It's a catch-22. You still have free will. You still have free will, but it's one big smack catch-22 hitting you in the face. Yeah. So you're backed into a corner. Another thing is that he's going to feel like he's out of control of things. Like things are out of his jurisdiction. Like handing over an investigation to prosecutors in New York State where Trump can't fire them. It's out of his jurisdiction, so they're going to pull things, and they're going to pull the truth seekers out from under him. So it's out of his control, out of his jurisdiction. That's also strategy. Another thing that I've seen is skeletons in the closet. Oh! Don't throw stones if you live in a glass house. Oh, what kind of skeletons does he have in his closet? The divine's going to bring them all out. Let's bust out that dirty laundry. Let's take all that dirty laundry that you have and all those skeletons you have in your closet and just open that door and release them all. They're going to shine a light on everything in front of everybody. All will be revealed. Another thing I made very clear in my past videos is this is the law of attraction. Donald Trump attracted all of this to himself by aligning himself with falsities in the dark. This is all a result of his human free will. If you join the dark side, you are God's adversary. So this is the darkness that he attracted to himself as a result of his free will decision to do that. And another thing, I want to make clear, I told you guys that the law of attraction was going to increase in intensity and that Donald Trump was going to have more and more crap flying at him. Do you see it now? Bernie Sanders fans, are you watching this? Do you see this now? He's got all sorts of crap flying at him right now. It's like, I saw a Donald Trump fan saying, I don't know what's going on. Every day someone's accusing him of something else. It's like, yeah, that's a law of attraction being cranked up. I told you that was going to happen, and it's happening. Now, another thing I mentioned is that God is really big on teaching people. He's going to make an example out of Donald Trump of what not to do. This is what happens when you follow your ego. Your ego. So the divine is also going to make an example out of Donald Trump so that people can learn from his mistake and not repeat it. Another thing is that this will also kind of screw you up is the trust is going to be compromised in Donald Trump's life. You know, his attorneys are not going to trust the situation. They're going to be really insecure. They're going to have their walls up. They're going to be afraid that what happened to Michael Cohen could happen to them. They could get raided. They're going to, you know, a lot of attorneys aren't going to want to work with Donald Trump. He'll chase after them. They'll turn him down. The light has a way of going after your resources because they don't want you to have any crutches. So they're going to get rid of your support system as well. So the light's going to go after the trust that that your resources have, you know, and in aiding you and helping you. Yeah, because they're working for the dark also. If you're an attorney and you're working for Donald Trump, you're also working for the dark. So you're also an energetic match for crap. So, yeah, you actually have a reason to be worried, to be honest. Another thing is that with regards to the raid on Michael Cohen, the light is going to be really aggressive in their pursuit of truth. This raid has the divine written all over it. Let's go get what we need. Let's go pursue truth. They don't care. They're going to take what they need. They're going to pursue truth hardcore no matter what it takes. Another thing is strange relationships are going to happen as a result of this loss of, you know, trust as well. You know, Melania is going to think he's a douche. Jared is going to think, wow, I wouldn't, you know, have all this drama going on with me if, you know, you never pursued the presidency. Your, you know, relationships are going to be completely compromised. You know, Michael Cohen, I guess, you know, he was close to him. Well, now they're saying Michael Cohen could turn on him and, you know, wear a wire or whatever. So trust is out the window. Human relationships go down the toilet. That's another thing that Pursuit of Truth does. But overall, you know, the whole point of this is to let everyone know that his presidency is one big illusion. If you're the result of a fraudulent election, you're not really president. The divine doesn't acknowledge him as president. The divine set an intention for Bernie Sanders to be president because he's everybody's highest good. So the divine looks at this and he's just so like, the people deserve to know what's going on. They deserve to know the truth. The question is, what are the people going to do with it? It's up to us, the people, to get off the couch and, you know, see what the divine is doing and take his hand, basically. And it's up to us to continue working for the light. You know, that's another thing I want to make very clear is not only, you know, is like, you know, Comey, Donna Brazile, Michael Avenatti, Stormy Daniels, you know, Karen McDougal, not only are they brave, they're working for the light. They're speaking for the light because they're pursuing truth. So I just want to point out that they are light workers. They are earth angels working for the divine. You know, they're part of this, so they deserve that recognition. You know, the Parkland, Florida kids are working for the divine. They're pursuing truth with, you know, gun control issues and, you know, turning their pain into a way to help others. You know, James Comey was fired. You know, that's very painful. That's embarrassing, you know. So, you know, James Comey turned his, you know, pain into a way to, you know, teach and enlighten and help others with his book. So, yeah, I mean, these people, I just want to say they deserve respect for pursuing truth in the face of adversity and, you know, people throwing mud on their windshield. So that's the thing. It's up to us to fight back and demand a second election. Like I said, the divine is helping us. This is how. It's really, really awesome to watch the news lately. I hope you guys are excited as I am, because it's been amazing just watching the light fight back. And they're not done yet. So I'm pretty happy personally. But, you know, it's up to us to really make a difference, and to really take back our country, because I made a video called How the Dark Took Over Our Country, and it's up to us to take God's hand and help the light take back control of our country, because we can, and we will. And in the meantime, take care and be well. Thank you.